Buy that for $1.
Ain't no goddamn motion picture.
You sure? Why are you still in character?
Man, I don't drop character till I've done the DVD commentary.
When Kramer hears about this, the shit's gonna hit the fan. Because only one thing counts in this life. Get them to sign on the line which is dotted. A, B, C. A always, B, B, C closing. Always be closing.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
I think that I am familiar with the fact that you are going to ignore this particular problem until it swims up and bites you on the ass.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Enough, I get the point.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
La 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 la. I am not listening to Jeffrey, but he's still talking.
You got knocked the fuck out!
What do you say we cut the chit-chat a-hole?
Huh? That's it, I'm out of here. So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the JEFFMAN316 Pop Culture Reporter channel. I'm your host, as always, JEFFMAN316. And tonight we got what you call free for all. I told you guys I'd come on a little bit earlier, so if anybody shows up, we can talk about whatever you guys want. I just rushed to get all this stuff connected, so hopefully everything's on here is working and it's right. Just rolled into the house. So normally don't do this early, but anybody that does show up, I appreciate it for coming on and giving me some of your time this evening. Had some personal stuff going on in the family, and then I'm going out of town. Like I said, the reason I want to do this, I'm going out of town for a couple days for work, so I wanted to go ahead and get this live stream done early so I can go ahead and pack and get ready for that. So if anybody's out there watching, says there's a couple, drop some comments down below. Let me know who we got here checking us out tonight. I will let you know one of the things I've been doing this weekend is I've been editing some content. So I got 3 or 4 videos lined up that I'm going to be scheduling tonight. So you guys will get content while I'm out of town. A couple movie hunts, a movie haul. I got some news about some digital content. I was supposed to do an interview with somebody. I mentioned in the last live stream that the girl that was part of that Manos Hands of Fate, her publicist ghosted me as far as he said that he was having some trouble on the internet. I can't contact him on Messenger. So if he watches this, you did not give me your email address. If you think you did, because you told me to email you and I don't have it. So maybe we could schedule that for a week after next. One of my friends from childhood contacted me this week. I thought I'd let you guys know something pretty cool. He said that like the Mystery Science Theater 3000 guys, there's like a riff track like app that you can get for some movies. And he said my 2 favorite movies, Jaws and sorry, my shirt's itching me to death. Jaws and Halloween had riff tracks that you can play while you're watching the movie. That might be interesting. If I do that, I might give you guys a review of that because it might be worth the money. But if anybody's out there watching and want to drop a comment, do it. Let me know what you want to talk about. If not, I'm going to go over one thing I thought happened cool on the channel this week. I am really psyched up, as you can see back here from old Mikey. I'm psyched up to see Halloween Ends when that comes out. I'm really looking forward to seeing where they take it. So I've been following a lot of different online YouTubers. There's a Reddit section for Halloween Ends. I want to try to avoid like exact spoilers, but if there's anything as far as the direction the movie's going to go in tone and that kind of stuff, I'm really interested in it. So they did announce, well, they didn't officially announce, but Jamie Lee Curtis did say at 7:20 on her Twitter. If you watch the news video that I did that looks like they're going to probably drop the first teaser trailer. Based on what I've read, it's probably only going to be a little over a minute, but it'll be the first teaser trailer for Halloween Ends. From what I'm hearing, it may be attached to the movie Nope, that debuts in theaters this weekend, is why they're doing it. I think they're both Blumhouse releases, obviously, so that'll be kind of cool. But what I did was I took a lot of that stuff and then I thought about it, and I decided to kind of speculate on where I thought the movie was going to go, and what I thought was fact versus fiction based on stuff I've read. I do trust a couple of the threads that I read about Halloween Ends, because it said that some people attended the test screenings that they did, and from what I've read, they did 2. One was in New Jersey. I'm not sure if anybody watches this could let me know when they did where they did the other test screening, but I think they did it the same night, and they allow people to watch 2 different versions of the movie. And so they said one was pretty well received and one wasn't. And so obviously we don't know which one was, and they had to sign NDAs, but there's been some little feedback trickling out there. And I took some of that and did a video. And as of tonight, when I'm doing this live, it looks like I got about, for the first time ever within a 24-hour period of time, I got about 3,000 views on that video and about 114 comments. So it looks like, obviously I'm not going to exclusively do Halloween content on the channel, but I will say that it's worth the conversation. And then I'm going to also, if they do a trailer Wednesday, if it drops during the day and I have time, like while I'm in the airport, I may do a short reaction. But either way, when I get home that night, I will be doing a reaction to it, because I want us to talk about that. If nothing else, depending on how that goes, maybe that could be the topic of next week's live if we don't think of one. Like, what is going to be our speculation of where Halloween Ends is going to go. And so, yeah, as of now, that video's got about 3,100 views. So I'm really proud of that one. It was something I threw together, but I really was passionate about the content. So that's kind of cool. So hopefully that's the way this channel can organically grow, is over the years I can do more of that kind of stuff. So other than that, during the week I dropped the video for my unboxing of the Meat Hook Massacre collection, and out of that group I think there's 8 movies in it. I've only watched the first one, and the first one's pretty good as far as a B-rated movie series, whatever you want to call it, micro budget series. So check that out if you guys haven't. I've got the Amazon Prime stuff that I bought actually came in for Prime Days, so I recorded a video of that. You guys will get that as part of the haul. But until somebody comes on here and thinks of another topic, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that Halloween Ends, because one of the things I haven't been able to figure out, and I'd like somebody to chime in and give me their opinion on, is David Gordon Green supposedly passed the script to John Carpenter, and he told him that it was a little similar feel to Christine. And if you know what Christine was about, it was about a car that they never come out and said it was possessed by the devil, quote unquote devil, but it was definitely possessed by somebody, if nothing more than maybe the original owner. So if Halloween Ends has a Christine type feel, what does that mean? Because, you know, obviously in that movie, Arnie was the main character, Arnie Cunningham, I think that was his name. It was like a coming of age story with him. Like, he actually went from a nerd to a popular guy just because of the car. So he kind of grew up during the movie and kind of become obsessed with the car, obviously. And the car took over his personality. So if David Gordon Green is saying that John Carpenter, he told him it felt like a little bit of Christine feel to the original script he presented, what does that mean? Does that mean that somebody in this movie is feeling controlled by something? Is it Michael Myers being controlled by the mask? Is it Michael Myers being controlled by the house that he lives in? Or is Michael like Christine, and because of him, somebody is feeling obsessed with maybe either stopping him or what's behind him? Because from what I read, it's going to be about 4 years between the end of Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. And so I think that's pretty cool as far as you're going to have to see some type of development with the Allison character, because Allison lost her boyfriend. She had previously in Halloween 2018 lost her father. And from what everybody assumes happened at the end of Halloween Kills, she lost her mother. So everybody basically close to her and some of her friends obviously died in Halloween 2018 as well. At least one of her, the guys that she was friends with. Everybody's been affected by Michael and her family, or at least died at the hands of Michael. And that's got to be traumatic for her. So, like, how is she going to react to that? If it's been 4 years, has she been obsessed with Michael and what happened to him? If Michael's not there and he's disappeared into the, woods, where is he living? What has he been doing? I thought of one idea. They said, if you watched my video, there's one character that gets introduced, a new actor that hasn't been in the series at all. And if that's the case, maybe he and Allison have grown closer over the last 4 years. But why? Maybe it's the fact that this guy, this new character, is maybe he's the one that's obsessed with Michael, and the reason he's with Allison is because he wants to figure out what happened, what went on. It's got a lot of different takes that you can make on it. So I'm not just going to deem it as being negative and say that I don't like the direction that they're going, but there's two things negative a lot that I didn't like. Number one, the central part of this story was from the first two movies back in the 70s was about Lori and how her life was affected. Halloween 2018 was all about that. The trauma that she went through dealing with her friends getting killed and being stalked by a madman who then obviously, the way that timeline went, got caught and has been behind bars, and then how she dealt with it. And now, just like Allison, she's had her daughter and her son-in-law killed at the hands of Michael Myers. He came after her granddaughter. She's got to be a little obsessed with Michael as well. So to me, I figured this being Halloween quote unquote ends, it's got to tie up all the loose ends. And Lori, this has to be the end of her chapter. And then Jamie Lee Curtis made a comment where she understood what it meant to be a final girl after filming the last scenes as Laurie Strode. So if that movie does only bookends with Lori at the beginning and end, and the whole middle of it is basically Lori and this new character that's her boyfriend, I'm not saying I'm disappointed. I just have no clue why they would go in that direction. This movie 100% needs to tie up every loose end that there is between Lori and Michael in this timeline, because Blumhouse chose to take it over and get rid of Halloween 3 through Resurrection, have their own trilogy mapped out. There needs to be a definite ending to this where either, to me, Michael needs to die, or you think he's dead, or Lori needs to die. And if Lori doesn't die, maybe Allison does, and Lori thinks she kills Michael, and it ends this for her as far as she's concerned. If that's not how it goes, and you either don't have Michael in this movie much at all, or you don't have Lori in this movie much at all, I think it's a total complete failure. I don't think that that's what the fan base wants. Michael Myers will never 100% die, whether you have him die in this timeline or not. They're going to sell the rights if Blumhouse doesn't pick it back up to do something else. They're going to sell the rights to someone else who'll pick it back up and maybe springboard off of one of the other timelines, or 100% have it to where it's a side story about Michael in between some of the films, like fan films have done. But there's so many different directions you can take this movie franchise, but they chose this path. There's been 3 movies, and there'll be 3 movies, and this third one better tie up loose ends. Because if not, I just think it's a wasted effort. What in the hell are they doing? If they're not trying to tie up the Michael / Lori saga, I don't know. So if anybody's out there watching, let me know what you think. Are you a fan of Halloween, and are you anxious to see what direction they're going to take Halloween ends? Because, like I said, I could really see where, if the two screenings they had the movie going in opposite directions or the story focusing on different people. I could see where some fans would shit on it if it's not focused on Michael and Laurie, because another point that I made in one of my videos or streams was Laurie was basically in the hospital for 90% of Halloween Kills. And what the hell point is to have her basically the same thing off camera in most of that movie? I really want, if anybody wants my opinion, I really like the character of Hawkins. I hope it's 4 years from now and he obviously his leg is healed. He's out of the hospital and he is actually going to be part of the action. Maybe he could be one of the ones on the side who's semi-retired and is going after Michael, like, hunting him down, trying to find out what happened. Maybe he's the one that's obsessed, or maybe he and Laurie together are off on the side looking for Michael while Allison and her boyfriend are trying to settle in back in town, live a normal life. But you got to do something with Laurie. If you book in this thing where somebody says she narrates part of the movie and isn't in the movie a lot at all, I mean, that'll be a total disappointment. I mean, why even then bring Laurie into it? I'll be almost as bad as what they did with Sally's character in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre continuation that they did on Netflix. You bring that character back and then you disrespect it by not doing anything better than what they did. But either way, so the trailer drops for Halloween Ends supposedly on 7/20. So anybody that watches this, let's see how you guys speculate. See if you're better than me. Drop some comments on this video after it posts or now, so I can see it, to let me know what you think we're going to get from that trailer. Do you think you'll get something other than the Comic-Con footage or whatever con it was that had it, that basically they described as a fight in the kitchen between Laurie and Michael, where she gets the upper hand and ends up stabbing his hand down on the table with a knife through his hand? If all we get in the trailer is the end of Halloween Kills and slices of a fight, like quick scenes of a fight between Laurie and Michael, it'll be cool. Hopefully it'll get the marketing going and people will be satisfied with that, but I'm just not sure. Since I know that exists, I want something different. I want to see something unique. Somebody on Reddit claims that they saw it in one of the main things they asked, number one, what does the mask look like? And I, for one, am going from what they said and what I believe. It's basically going to be this Halloween Ends mask. Kills mask, but it'll be a little more tattered. Maybe it's going to be really dirty. Maybe the edges will be really worn down. But somebody said, well, it should be ripped or whatever. And I'm like, I think going in the direction of Rob Zombie's Halloween is not the way to go. If you remember in Halloween Kills, when they had him cornered out on the street and she threw his mask down on the ground and, said, gotcha, and the lights come up. When he bent down to pick the mask up and pulled it back over his face, it wasn't like it was brittle. It still looked like it was fairly sturdy. It wasn't like dry rotted or anything. So my guess is, as long as something didn't happen to him where he was fighting something or someone or an animal or whatever, why would it be ripped? It literally, if he does something where he, in the rain, he covers his head up, I'm sure he's got some makeshift shack or something, out in the woods, or something that hopefully you'll discover during the movie of where he's been for 4 damn years. I don't think I think the mask should look basically almost like just a dirtier version of the one that was in Halloween Kills. And then the second thing, a lot of people were like, what does the opening look like? Like, do we get a classic, pumpkin in the music? And one guy said you do. And I won't spoil it too much, but basically it's the pumpkin ends up cracking open and there's like a candle in the middle. That's fine. I want something similar. I told somebody I would like it to where it doesn't crack initially, but the flame inside of the pumpkin grows and grows and grows to the point where by heat or whatever, it basically makes the pumpkin bust open and crack, and then have the flame like initially start out, like I said, building and then totally consume the pumpkin and where it burns it up, and to the point to where it just kind of melts away. I thought that would be a really cool way to open the Halloween ends, but they need to do something similar to that. So somebody was talking about the idea. It was a comment on my YouTube video when I was talking about that, and they were like, they said that they could see where Jamie Lee Curtis's character of Lori could narrate this thing, and they're like, I said, I don't think that that would be good. I think it would seem weird to have her dead at the beginning of the movie and then narrating throughout the rest of the movie that she wouldn't have really known what was going on in the future. And their comment was, I was just messing around. You can't tell me you haven't seen movies where the person dies and then narrates the movie, though. I've seen that. I just said I think it would be weird for a Halloween movie, considering that Lori would just be given exposition of her life, and it would have to basically line up with the stuff that was going on with Allison in her life. I just don't think that would be very interesting at all. I mean, we did not wait 40 years or whatever for this to come around and have it to where Jamie Lee Curtis plays second fiddle to Allison and in the final Halloween Ends movie, when that's what she did with Karen and Allison in the last movie. We want to see Laurie Strode go one-on-one with Michael Myers and have a definite conclusion. Otherwise, it is just going to be a waste of time. So when I go back in, I'll read one of the comments. Somebody said, interesting, back in Christine, Arnie Cunningham is the name of the lead guy that gets possessed by Christine in the movie. Gordon Green has gone on record as saying that the movie is big influence on Halloween Kills. Now, you don't need much imagination to connect them together. You pretty much see how this might play out. It all depends on how it's executed. That's kind of what I said. Depends on what angle they go with it. It seems silly to go down this route, though, at this stage, though. I'd rather them stick to the guns that they've drawn out over the last two movies instead of seemingly just sidestepping all that and going this direction. It seems a better idea for a standalone movie, though, and not the end of a trilogy. That's kind of what I was saying. I just wanted to give you a different take on it, maybe by somebody else. I totally agree with that there's no way that I think that Michael Myers should Laurie should be side characters in this thing. I know it said that David Gordon Green said he might go in a different direction, but I just don't feel that. And also one of the things I mentioned was the potential of Michael getting captured, and maybe they could go where he's captured, and kind of reverse stalk him, try to kill him where he's at. I don't know. I guess since the hospital was in Halloween 2, where he stalked Laurie in the true second movie of the sequel to the original. That might be a little too close to that, but hey, anything's possible. But I will say a lot of the feeling on that video I post is negative, of like people just don't like the way the movie it seems to be going in the direction that they're choosing. So the one thing that I will say is they need to get this trailer right. You got a lot of negative feelings from the fan base right now. They're nervous. If they're like me, they're nervous of why it's taking so long to get a trailer out there. They're nervous that they're going to screw up. Hold on a second. The dynamic between Laurie and Michael. And I think that the fans, this is supposed to be the end of a trilogy. The fans deserve a really nice trailer to kind of set the tone of what the movie's going to be about. So yeah, anybody that wants to chime in after you now or after you watch it, let me know what you think about that. But they were also talking about how that if you center around this new character, which is Allison's boyfriend, and Allison, the acting better be pretty good, because otherwise that damn movie could be boring as hell. I've never really seen Andy Manichik in anything else. It was a movie that was on Shudder that I saw her in, but other than that, I really haven't seen her in anything else. So hopefully she's got some good acting chops if they go down in that direction, because otherwise she's going to have a long career of her as far as trying to do conventions or whatever, if they screw up the Michael Myers mythos and how he is portrayed in this movie and what she does. So let me go through here. If nobody else chiming in, I'll read a couple of other comments that I got. said that they believe Lori will truly be the final girl. She's going to be the one that seemingly kills Michael, and I agreed with that. We're not sure. Hoping this movie will be awesome. It's the last, and will take years to see a new trilogy and a new Halloween movie. But Halloween 2018 was great. The second one wasn't so good, so hopefully they'll turn the corner with this one, is what a lot of people were saying. A lot of people are thinking that they're just padding this thing for marketing, and they're not really going to tell us the direction it's going to go into the actual movie, because I kind of believe that if you do the trailer where it's just that con footage that I've described multiple times on the channel, that is pretty much not going to show you anything of the direction that this movie's taking. And if that is a decent chunk of the on-screen time of Lori at the beginning of the film, that's in that, and then you don't see her for a while, man, the fanboys are going to go crazy when they see that shit. And then you got a lot of comments that were, I'm not sure what everybody's expecting. People are just cynical now. They're looking for stuff to complain about instead of watching them with the intent to just simply enjoy a damn movie. And I do say that all the time, because if one thing on this channel is, whether I know what's going to happen or not, I try to find good qualities in movies, and I will watch the movie. I probably will enjoy it. I think most Halloween fans will, just to have another Halloween movie. But think about it. We were supposed to see this movie last year, and so this trilogy should have already been over, but because of the pandemic, it got delayed a year. So we saw Halloween Kills a year late and Halloween Ends a year late. So I think that's another reason is people are tired of waiting, and they really want to know what's going to happen. And that's why people like me are on YouTube trying to discuss it and trying to get people's opinions and figure out why they're going to go a certain direction or how they're going to go a certain direction. I just think it makes it fun sitting around discussing it or whatever. So I'm getting ready to get parched since I'm the only one talking here. So let me give me something to drink. So if old Ken ever watches this, one of the videos that I've already got queued up that I'm getting ready to post is a toy hunt. I'm probably not going to do a lot of toy hunts on the channel in the future, but one of the reasons that I did do it is I found a ton of clearance stuff at Target. So I wanted to just let people know. That's one of the purposes that I like for this channel, is just to let you guys know heads up of sales. If I buy movies and I think they're worth purchasing, just to kind of give back to the community in that kind of way. So yeah, I bought some stuff at Amazon. I'll post a video about that, but you saw some new stuff at the Dollar Tree, posting a video about that. And then I did some toy hunting while I was out movie hunting for my weekly video. And I was able to find a couple nice things clearance at Target, and I'm not going to give them away here, but watch that video this week and you'll see. So like I said, I've already got, let's see, the Dollar Tree hunt that I'm posting. It was so many movies that I was looking through that I didn't want to bore people with a 30-minute video, that I divided it into. You're going to get the search where you see everything that was at the store in one video, and then you're going to come back and see the next day. I'm going to post the haul part of it. Or maybe 2 days later, I haven't decided. Then you're going to get that toy hunt. And then I've got Barnes and Noble where I went searching for Criterions. I'm going to finally post that video. I got pissed off at something that I read about Sony and digital content. So I made a little rant video about that. You're going to see. I went to Big Lots, finally found some clearance movies there. So you're going to see that. And then I've got, like I said, a lot of notes that I've taken when I'm reading about, as you guys know, a week from this Monday, we're debuting the Halloween series. I've been recording footage to put in my reviews for the Halloween movies. We're going to do them all. But that's one of the things I've been doing while I've been researching, Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, is reading some news of what people said. I think a lot of people in this news have forgotten about one main character, Lindsay Wallace. I mean, she survived the last movie, and nobody's even talking about her in any of these speculation videos they're doing. So Where's Lindsay at? Is she going to be a major character? One person thinks she is. I'm not going to give you my opinion because I've actually was thinking about recording a video about that. What do you guys think about her character? Could she be an influence on what happens? Will she just die off in this? If they just bring her in there and kill her again, so that way they brought her back with Tommy and killed him in the last one, and then if they kill her in this one, it's kind of a throwaway character. I mean, I would have liked for her or Tommy to be used in a more thorough way, like put some character behind them, let us know what they've been doing in the last 40 years, and then like let them actually do something. Tommy doing that Evil Dies Tonight was kind of boring, and the last one, I wish they'd done more with his character. You could have given that shit to anybody, either way. So one of the guys that watched my video, give a shout out to him, his name was Rusty Nail. He actually said that based on what he's heard, that a lot of the stuff in that video that I posted is true, and that that the rumors are real, a lot of those things. So he even said the cover's been blown. Great job. Keep up the good reporting. Keep up the good work. And then another person that saw it did say that Michael will 100% will not be captured during the movie, and that everything that I reported in the video from those screenings is really what happens in the movie. But that it has 3 big twists in it. So what could those twists be? I don't know, man. That would be the question. How can you have 3 big twists in Halloween Ends? It would probably have to be something related to Allison, something else related to Lori. Jeff from Louisville says, Ends is inspired by Carpenter's Christine. There's a rumor new character named Corey Cunningham. The lead character in Christine is Arnie Cunningham. That's sort of true. If you go back and look at the video that I posted, and maybe you did, that isn't a rumor about a new character. They actually tweeted, and I don't know if I still got it saved here. And hold on a second. I think I got it on my Facebook. They tweeted it out. Rowan Campbell is the name. He's been cast as a new character, and as you said, it's named Corey Cunningham. And Halloween Ends, we have been able to confirm that. So if you can see that black and white picture there, that's him. That is supposedly the main character in Halloween Ends, via viewer Anon, and that's one of the accounts that's been getting a lot of the news right about these movies. So, but supposedly, from what I hear, is that guy is going to be one of the main characters. He's going to be Allison's boyfriend, and he's going to basically be one of the main characters. And Lori is only going to bookend the story from beginning and end, and may narrate most of the middle of the movie, which I think is a total big mistake. Roy says, hello, guys. The new time messed me up. Yeah, sorry. I don't know if you remember. I said last week I had to be on here early. I've got an early flight in the morning. Going to be out of town for a couple of days. And I didn't want to get stuck on here to like 10 o'clock like we did before, because I need to get into bed. So no problem, though, you coming in late. There wasn't many people here, so I was giving a recap of the stuff that's coming up on the channel. And I was also giving a recap on some of the reactions to the Halloween video that I posted, because I got a lot of good traction on that. But a lot of it has been based on research I've done over the last couple of weeks as I go into that Halloween review series we're going to do. And I wanted to know, kind of like what a lot of people hate Halloween Kills. Man, that movie's got so much hate out there. And then so I rewatched it as part of that review series, and I think the movie doesn't deserve all the hate that it gets. Nick Castle's a party goer at a party house and attends camp. Yeah, I read that because they said that they wanted to give him a role where he was on screen and not, obviously not in the mask. Here's my question. What in the hell kind of party is Allison going to that's got isn't Nick Castle like 70 years old where he would be going there? Are you going to hit up Dollar Trees on your travel? I may try. But this is work trip, so a lot of it is already booked as far as we call it sessions and classes and stuff. So if I do, it'd be after hours, but we'll see. If I find anything, I'll record it, obviously. But I've got 4 new stores that I've recorded over the last week. I've already edited 2 videos that I was telling everybody that you're going to get some Dollar Tree videos new. There were so many in one store that I didn't want to drop a 20-minute video. So apparently Laura encouraged her to go to the party as well, according to viewer Nana. But I mean, what encourages her to go to the party? What is she going to be like, so tragically scarred from what happened in Halloween Kills? Because that's what we were talking about earlier. So if you think of anybody that has been the trauma of Michael Myers, Allison has to be there just as much as Lori, because I know it meant a lot to Lori. She had her friends killed in the first movie, but nobody in her family. And so Lori had her friends killed, a couple of them in the first movie. Allison had her boyfriend killed, had her best friend, one of her best friend male friends killed, had her father killed, had her mother killed. Yep, lost both her parents. So that's pretty traumatic there. The amount of loss that she's had during this one, I guess Halloween Kills, was happening the next day right after Halloween, the 2018, and like a 48-hour or maybe 96-hour period of time to have being stalked by a killer, to watch what she thought was the policeman die, to have see her best friend die, see her boyfriend die, see her her father die, and see her mother, her mother's body. So that's going to be pretty damn traumatic for her. So maybe over the last 4 years, she's been experiencing extreme PTSD more than Lori at that point, because Lori up until the 2018 had only had the loss of her friends like from 40 years prior. But everybody's now speculating that this one guy on one of my threads said that he saw the screener and that there's 3 twists, but he wouldn't tell me what the twists are, obviously. I've been sitting here racking my brain trying to figure out how could you have 3 twists to this story, because you could have one involving Lori, one involving Allison, but what would be the third one? Unless I was thinking, wouldn't it be ironic if this new boyfriend is only a boyfriend of Allison's because he's like obsessed with this Michael Myers shit that's going on in town and actually wants to be closer to her to get the scoop on Michael Myers and what she went through and all that kind of stuff. And then he ends up getting caught up in it because Michael obviously isn't dead, and probably whatever happened to him from the last 4 years, you're going to hopefully see. But if that's the case, like you're saying, Jeff from Louisville, I just don't like the other thing that the people were saying that went along with that was Lori has the fight with Michael probably at the beginning, and then she is not going to be in the movie again into the end and basically narrates parts of it as we go along. I don't like that at all. I think that is one of the twists. Which part of going to a party is a twist? I don't understand that part. Like, what are you saying with the twist would be? That Nick Castle shows up as a cameo? I mean, that's not really a twist. That's more just a surprise. But maybe the boyfriend, getting caught up in it, something could be wrong with the boyfriend or going something weird with him. Maybe he could maybe it could be a twist with him. I think you can rule out all the stuff that everybody was talking about as far as there's no way they're going to do anything with Silver Shamrock Mask. There's no way they're going to do anything with them being brother and sister. There's no way they're going to do anything with a cult. Basically, no, the twist is her boyfriend's a Myers fan. Yeah, I haven't heard that, but that was my guess. I was speculating that. So I was thinking about doing a video and putting it out there and getting people's opinion on that. So, yeah, that her boyfriend really didn't, like I said, it wanted to hook up with her because he's more of obsessed with the Michael Myers story is what I was thinking. Maybe Corey is killing people. Maybe. So maybe Corey could be, because they did say there was something, Hey, now that you say that, see, I'm starting to put some pieces together from things I read. One of the things I read said that there's going to be some stuff going on in the town in the last 4 years where there's going to be some people missing, like a little girl, and that everybody's assuming that it's Michael Myers, and that maybe Laurie and Hawkins are still hunting for him. Maybe this Corey is like either a serial killer, or he's obsessed where he wants to be like the next Michael Myers or something. And so he doesn't love Allison at all. And maybe he only hooks up with her to get closer to the Michael Myers story, to be closer to her and Laurie, to hear more about Michael, to try to figure out how he thinks and what went on. That would be a cool twist there. So that would be one. What would be the other twist? Maybe at the end that Michael has to save Laurie or Allison from this Corey guy. How about a damn twist like that? Then Michael has to be the one. He doesn't have to save them, but he ends up there. Something happens where the stories converge, and Michael ends up there with them, and ends up being the one that kills this Corey guy, which ultimately saves either Laurie or Allison. That would be a good twist. And then you have to end, or maybe Laurie gets killed and Allison's the one that ends up saved and she can, continue on. But or maybe Corey kills Allison. I think Laurie, to me, needs to be the last one standing. Maybe that Laurie needs to be the actual ultimate final girl. As a fan of the series, that would make me satisfied, because I get so fucking tired of people that like Scream talking about that Sidney Prescott is the only true final girl, that she's lasted through the entire series. They haven't went off on multiple timelines. They haven't killed her off. If you end up having Laurie survive this, so she would have been, a survivor of 4 films then, and ultimately also a survivor of multiple timelines. At least the first timeline and this new one. She obviously didn't survive the H2O timeline because she died at the beginning of Resurrection. But yeah, that's a good point. Maybe this Corey is not who you think he is. That'd be a good twist. But do you need all that added to a Michael Myers story? There is so much there, so many layers already with Laurie and Lindsay and Allison and Hawkins, because, he's the one who stopped Loomis from killing Michael. You got so many layers there that if you add on another layer that there's somebody else killing and trying to be like Michael Myers and it not be Michael Myers, Jesus, man. I mean, maybe do a second movie like Halloween Aftermath is what somebody was calling it, and do something like that in there where Michael Myers dies in this timeline, but something else continues the story. I've seen some people on Reddit suggest the opening scene takes place in 2019. Maybe Corey finds Myers reeling from injuries that occurred from the Haddonfield mob and helps him recover. Maybe. I did hear that the opening scene was probably going to take place in the past, but I'm assuming Laurie's leaving the hospital in the extended cut of Halloween Kills. Is she going to go after Michael then, or they're not even going to have that happen? I thought this movie might open with Laurie leaving the hospital, since they cut that out of Halloween Kills and have it to where Laurie is going after Michael at the beginning. If you do this thing that you just mentioned, where Corey finds Myers and tries to help him, you don't need to see that it's Corey. If you do that, to me, you need to see it says maybe Corey's encompassed by the evil. I don't like that either. I don't like that. I think Myers doesn't need to be. He can be almost like superhuman, but I don't like him. I don't want him to be supernatural, and I don't want this shit where people get possessed, or it's it's like, if you think about it, in Christine, even though the car itself was supernatural, what it did to Arnie wasn't. I don't think Arnie really got possessed by it. I think Arnie got obsessed with Christine and what she could do, and the power that he had, because he went from couldn't get a girl, couldn't get one till he had the number one girl in school that everybody wanted. It gave him power. He was obsessed with that. I don't think he got possessed by the power of Christine. So I think the same thing could happen to this Corey guy. He could be obsessed with Michael Myers. He could be obsessed with what happened to Allison. And then that could end up being driving him to do whatever he does in the movie. Now, I would be okay with that. I don't either. Yeah. So definitely don't want him to go down the supernatural route. I want him to be more like he's superhuman. Like every time they think that they've got him. But I will tell you this. I do think it's a little bit silly. They needed to do something different. I was talking to somebody earlier. We were talking about how the silly parts that are in Halloween Kills. I just rewatched it because I'm doing my review series coming up. Halloween Kills is got the first 30 to 40 minutes of that movie up until you hear Evil Dies Tonight the first time. That is a damn good movie. I don't care what anybody says. Halloween Kills is that up to that point is one of the best movies in the Halloween franchise. If you go from Hawkins getting found, establishing that he's still alive, to the flashback scene, which is epic. I don't care what anybody says, that's epic. To the point to where the firefighter scene where he escapes the house, that whole thing is cool. I'm okay with the way they introduce Lindsay and Tommy and Lonnie back to the story as adults. I'm fine with that as well. I even think they dropped the ball a little bit about having the Myers news story. I think they should have shown a little more of that. Show them reacting to that in the bar. But after that, it goes to hell for about 20, 30 minutes. How do you feel about a flashback to 63? I've been wanting to see that in the slasher genre miniature, try to go back to the very beginning. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Especially the route they go with this thing of like, what is making Michael so obsessed? If you say in the last movie that Hawkins pretty much tells Laurie that Michael is not obsessed with her, that the doctor was obsessed with dropping him into those situations and put him back on that path, what is he obsessed with then? Is he just, like Lonnie said, taking out anybody and everybody that's on the route back to his house? Is being home, and I don't even think he's looking out of the glass. I think he's obsessed with seeing himself in the glass. Maybe like with the mask on, hiding his face. Kind of like that's one of the cool concepts that Rob Zombie did come up with in his movie, is that Michael wore the mask to cover his face because he was so insecure about everything. So I could see that happening. And maybe a lot of people, the other two things I read is, what do? Do you have one of them try to destroy the mask or the house? Because if you destroyed one of those, then what happens to Michael's obsession then? I always thought every time he kills somebody, he just reliving the moment he killed Judith. I kind of agree with that. And the reason I say that is because I think the way that they filmed the kill of Karen at the end was for two reasons. I've said this before in videos. Number one, I think they're playing an homage to the Psycho movie that Jamie Lee Curtis's mom was in. Some of the cuts and the way they did to slash the knife was to that. But secondly, I think in Michael's mind, he's seeing Judith, is that it's in the same room. He was basically killing Judith over again. And that the way that they filmed it was almost trance-like. And that's the reason that they didn't want to just film it just like a regular style of panned back where you see Michael attacking her. It was almost like you were seeing it the way he felt. I like the end of that. And I'm like that they killed off Karen because, like I said, it makes the movie more emotional and powerful for whatever happens between Allison and Laurie moving forward. Is, man, they basically are losing everybody that's close to them. This monster is taking everybody away from them to the point of they don't know what to do. And that really, I think, is realistic, and it would cause trauma. I'm not belittling anything. I mean, you could cause trauma from you witnessing one person die. So I'm not saying that. But I do think that Allison's level of trauma could be way more than anything that Laurie ever experienced, because it was 40 years ago and Laurie only experienced him killing some of her friends and thinking that she was being stalked. They never killed anybody in Laurie's family during that time. Hold on a second. I'm buffering for some reason. Sorry if that was me buffering. It's a bad storm here, so could be cutting me out for that. Do you think they're going to kill Myers in the end? I think it's going to go off with you thinking that there's a big possibility that Myers will be dead. I could almost see a scene unfolding where, like you said, Michael ends up having to save either Lori or Allison from this Corey, and he ends up, end up getting damaged somehow, or stabbed, or shot, or something. I could almost see where, because he did that, he dies in Lori's arms. I thought that would be the most dramatic way of ending the series. I'm not saying she's going to be crying for him. She's going to feel sorry for him, that she maybe be holding him and like asking questions like, why, Michael, what is going on with this? And have him almost like die in her arms. I thought that would be just a perfect way to end this series. Thoughts on the movie Smile? Well, hey, appreciate you stopping by and checking out the channel. There's an actual video that I've got posted this past week, which was my trailer reaction to the movie Smile. But I'll go ahead, if you don't, I'd like for you to watch that. If you haven't watched it already, drop a like on that. I appreciate you asking the question. I'll go ahead and give you my brief comments now, though. I think it's a decent concept, but I think unless they do more than what's shown in the trailer, they stole a lot of concepts from other movies. I put that in my trailer reaction, some of the movies that I think it steals from. Obviously, to me, it's almost a blatant copy of things that happened in the movie The Ring, the first one, where something happens to somebody and they've got a certain number of days before that's going to end up killing them or whatever. I mean, that concept's kind of tired. The smile thing with the weird smile on the face, they did that in Truth or Dare. Now, that movie was hot garbage. I didn't think it was good at all. So my hope is maybe they can take that concept and make it better. I will say it looks like they got a little, the actors that they've got in it look a little better. Maybe it'll take it up a notch. But a lot of the themes in it or whatever seemed a little tired. So they're going to have to do something different. And then the fact that at the end of the trailer, they show you that person walking toward the car and their head spinning down, it has me a little worried, because I think that would have been an iconic scene to say for the movie. If you're going to have a jump scare, that's one of them. It's probably only going to be a couple jump scares in the movie, and you've already ruined one of them. So that's another thing I hope with this Halloween Ends, is I hope we don't get a lot of I'm not sure why my internet keeps screwing up, so hold on here, guys. I think it's because I'm on Wi-Fi and my wire is loose. So I apologize for that. Like I said, it's a bad storm here, so our internet's probably being a little wonky. But either way, have you seen the trailer for Smile? If so, what did you think of that trailer? Let me know your thoughts. And you can comment here if you want, or you can comment on that video if you watch it. So I appreciate that if you watch it. If you have Charter Spectrum, their internet has been dropping out. No, I have Comcast, but like I said, I've got a wired connection, but the little tip on my wire, I was in a rush to get this thing connected tonight. I tripped on it. I think I broke the end of the tip on it, and it is storming here. So my internet, when I looked at it on my phone, I usually have full bars, and I'm down one. So I think maybe it's I'm dropping off on the Wi-Fi and it's just not strong. So I'll get that fixed after we get off of here. So no big deal. Hopefully it won't cut out any more than it already did. But I appreciate you checking on that. So yeah, if anybody's in the chat, if you've seen the trailer for Smile, what do you think? When does that come out? Did it say August, I think? Or was it September? I can't even remember from my own video. But all this chatter we're doing, obviously I didn't have really a good theme for tonight. I thought Smile looked pretty good. I agree the part where she leaned over should have been left out of the trailer. Yeah, I do think there's another trailer reaction that I recorded for the movie. I haven't posted it yet. The Invitation. Has anybody seen that trailer? It looks, once again, looks promising. And the problem that I've got with it is it almost looks like Ready or Not, just with a vampire spin on it. So I'm not very pleased with that. I think there's a lot of movies that they waste a lot of time and money on just retreading the same thoughts over and over again. So hopefully they'll do something different. And then to go back to what I said, the trailer for that Invitation, the reason I brought it up is it almost looks like they tell you the whole movie, everything that's going to happen from start to finish, including some of the scary parts in there. So I don't know. I think trailers go too far. They show too much these days. I liked it when it was minimal, where the only thing you got was a teaser trailer. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But I like the character of Hawkins, and I hope that they keep that character. I hope they keep him going, and I hope he just doesn't get killed off at the very beginning of this movie. Because once again, if you're going to waste time having him and Lori, this is ridiculous. I'm not sure why I can't keep it connected. I apologize. Yeah, if you're going to waste time having him in the hospital with Lori, that whole movie, the last one, and then bring him into his character, and he's already listed on Internet Movie Database. So I don't know why you would waste that and then have it to where he doesn't have a big part in the movie. So either way. I said I was going to go about an hour tonight. Like I said, I got an early flight in the morning. So I appreciate a lot of the new names popping up on here and living through my like I said, I apologize, and I'll get that fixed before the next one. I'm going to hardwire this thing and make it to where it always stays connected, and I'm not going to use Wi-Fi ever again. I apologize for that. So, but like I said, I appreciate the new names that have popped up on here. We typically try to do live streams with a lot of the regulars on Sunday nights. I usually go live later. So if you've got a particular time that you like, hey, there's old Ken. What's going on, brother? I got a toy hunt that I'm posting this week. I was saying that I mentioned your name earlier. I got some clearance stuff. So if you're interested in toys, go to Target because they're starting to clearance everything out. But yeah, Ken is one of my regulars. So we typically do these live streams on Sunday nights. I usually do it from 8 to 9 or 8:30 to 9:30. Any of you new people that are in here, drop me a note. What would work better for you? I'd like to start getting more people on here talking about movies. Sunday nights is my best time. So, but I can usually do it from anywhere from 7 to 9, other than this week. Like I said, I'm going out of town, but what would work better for you as far as a time? Do you think it would be better to go at 8? Now, I'm Eastern time. So would it be better for you to do 7, 8, or 9? And then I try to stay on here around an hour when the damn internet's working. So I'm going to hop off here in a second so I can figure out what's going on with this internet. So I apologize for that, but appreciate you guys that stopped by. Support the channel. Any of these videos that you watch of mine, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. It's boring when people say all that stuff, but it really does help with the algorithm to get the stuff out there, especially for new people like me. And I really want to do this more often and be able to do it longer. Wikipedia lists a new doctor called Dr. Mathis. He's played by Michael O'Leary. I wonder how he's going to factor in the story. Isn't Dr. Mathis the doctor? Wasn't Dr. Mathis the doctor from the original Halloween that ended up being the Thorn guy? What was his name? I hope the hell he's not in there. I don't want him to do the same thing. But either way. All right. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. So, hey, Jeff, I appreciate your support. I don't remember seeing you here before. Hopefully you can come back. Let me know in the comments when you could, if I pop on here next week, when would be a good time for you. Like, yeah, later, brother. Let me know what time would work for you. I mean, if it works better. Did you end up picking anything up on Prime Day? I sure did. I recorded a video, and I'm going to drop it this week. So watch out. Even though I'm out of town, I got 4 or 5 videos that I will be putting out there tonight. I'm going to go ahead and put them out there and schedule them. So tonight before midnight, before I go to bed, you're going to see all the videos that are going to post this week. And Jeff from Louisville said he subscribed. Appreciate you, brother. Come back and watch some more vids. And hopefully next week you can drop by and we can talk Halloween or anything else. So did you pick up anything good, Ken, for Prime Day? I picked up mostly some TV stuff. And you know what? I stayed on here so long last time that damn Abbott and Costello set that I want, the time limit had run out by the time I got off here, so I didn't get to buy it. So now it's like $20 more. So yeah, appreciate it, Jeff. Appreciate the support. Anything you can do to support the channel, I appreciate you, brother. I have no clue why my internet is going out. I'm hardwired into this damn thing. And I do IT for a living. So that's embarrassing. Got Game of Thrones complete Blu-ray set for $40. Yeah, I already owned all the Game of Thrones. I ended up getting the Best Buy exclusive sets over the years, so I already owned all that. So obviously I paid way more than that. I probably paid $30 a set for those things. But that's cool. That's a really good deal. Have you found anything at your Dollar Trees yet? Shit. All right. I'm getting ready to get out of here because of this internet. So gonna wrap it up. Like I said, I got to get up super early in the morning, and then this internet's getting on my fucking nerves. So I apologize for anybody that live next weekend, and let me know in the comments down below when you guys want to get on next Sunday. Do you want to do it at 7, 8, or 9? Let me know. Drop me on Instagram, JEFFMAN316, or on this video here. Let me know when you guys would want to come back and watch. So I'm going to go ahead and head out. Wish me luck on my trip. Wish me safe travels. I appreciate all you guys and anybody that came back to watch this video. I love you. Thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Comment down below. If you want to support anything monetarily, my Cash App's listed. It's JEFFMAN316. I got PayPal that'll be in the description of my videos. And I have already started working out the foundation of my Patreon of what I'm going to do. So I'll be posting that soon. So hopefully you guys will support me there. So in the meantime, I'm going to get the banner off here. And I'll see you guys next week. Same JEFFMAN time, 316 time. Same JEFFMAN316 Pop Culture Reporter channel. So until next time, boys and girls, this is JEFFMAN316, your Pop Culture Reporter, signing out saying, you guys be safe out there.
Mr. Mayor, Chief, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, if any of you guys are still here, that's going to be the end of the main feed. I'm going to move this thing out of the way. I'm going to try to hook my internet connection up. I'm leaving it live. So you can stay if you want. This is just a test. I'll keep the comments open while I'm doing this. I've got another cable over here, and I'm going to replace it, and I'm going to make sure that the Wi-Fi doesn't pop back up on here. So it's going to get moved. So I didn't want anybody that's still on here to be surprised if I'm moving the camera around. So you get to see my empty seat. You can see my empty seat for a minute. you get blinded by the ring light?